Fringe is such a strange show anyway, but this takes it to a whole nother level. Half of it's fantasy and half of it's real and goes back and forth. It's wonderful.
That's a very good question. What on earth is going on here?
Once upon a time, there was an accomplished detective.
We are in the lab right now. This lab is the beginning setting for one of the most exciting episodes that we've done in both seasons of Fringe.
We're back in a version of Walter's lab as imagined by him on a lot of LSD.
And he is, in this episode, telling Ella a story while Olivia's off looking for Peter, who's gone missing.
It takes place in the 40s, but it's kind of like the 40s in present day, because we're all in awesome 40s makeup, but we're tapping on laptop computers. Everything is off a little bit. Like the cow is here, but the cow is different than it's supposed to be in real life.
Having polka dots put on is a first for her. She's been on the show from the beginning of the season, and she's had a birthday hat put on her, but she's never had polka dots.
There are cadavers that end up sitting upright and singing in the middle of the scene.
2, 3, 4. Who can take a sunrise? Who can take a sunrise? Sprinkle it with dew. Sprinkle it with dew. Cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
Every department had to go back into a 1940s mode. Anna, who is always with her hair back, straight, now had to have a do done to it that looked like 1940s.
And it's so neat to see even how the lighting changes. It changes the atmosphere of the entire scene.
You know, most times when someone comes in here worried that their sweetheart's gone missing or worse, by the time they find out what I usually find out, they wind up wishing you really were dead.
Art department had to go and undo all the sets and put in new furniture and then put it back to the way it was. We go back to massive dynamic and we change, instead of white furniture, it's black furniture. So everything's slightly skewed a little bit differently because, once again, it's Walter's imagination.
As I have said, in this story, things are not as they seem.
I've got to get this job. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Right here, we've got a glass heart for the upcoming episode. Walter explains that his heart is made of glass, that encases a bit of a true heart inside. As hearts do in stories, from time to time they break into two. And what we've got here is a breaking heart.
Walter's character had this really colorful and checkered past, and this is the culmination of all of that. This is him trying to entertain a little girl and trying to get his own mind off of Peter being gone and not being able to find him.
That's not a proper ending. Don't you know, all good stories start with once upon a time, and they end with happily ever after. So Peter took his special heart, and with all his might, he split it in two. And the heart was so magical that it still worked.